Council meeting to order, and will be led by a prayer and pledge of allegiance by Mr. Brankel.
Well, Lord, we thank you for another beautiful day, and we thank you for allowing us all to get together as a group. And we pray that you will guide and direct us as we conduct county business tonight. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, and again, welcome. Next, we'll do the roll call.
Brankel.
Here.
Caudell.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Kitts.
Here.
Lemming.
Here.
McCourt.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
All right, next on the agenda is the auditor's report.
You have your usual reports. I do want to update you guys on the certifying AVADs. Our deadline with the DLGF is August 1st. Of course, with the Senate Bill 1, we're not able to meet that deadline, as well as many counties in the state of Indiana. We are working very hard to get that done. We're currently waiting on the financial advisors to complete the TIF neutralization forms. Once we get those, we can enter in their factors and move on with the next process of, the step in the process. So hopefully we'll have that done soon. I don't have a timeline, or I can't even guess at this point where we're at, at the deadline. So I just wanted to update you guys with that. I've had a lot of schools reach out to me wanting their AVs, and I just can't give it to them yet.
Yeah, and with the, I guess, the broken record of Senate Bill 1, but how many times has that happened, maybe in the last 10 years? Does it happen very often?
No.
No. Okay. Yep.
This was very different this time.
All right.
It affected us dramatically. So.
Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is approval of the minutes. First, we'll do the special session, which was June 25th, 2025. Entertain a motion.
Skits, I do have a correction I'd like to ask.
Yes.
Under new business, it's the second paragraph from the bottom. It says Councilman McCourt made a motion to not reduce property tax and leave it at 0.1% for 2026. That really isn't correct. The motion was to leave the property tax relief lit in place as it is. The property tax credit relief of 1%. Leave that in place for 2026.
So property tax.
If you read that, that's not really what happens.
Property, so maybe to not
property tax
reduce.
replacement credit will stay in place for 2026, which is a 1% tax. So it's not a 0.1, it's a 1%.
Okay.
Is that clear, I guess, what I'm asking there?
Yeah, we'll
make
take
sure whoever reads the minutes would get the right statement there.
We'll take the decimal point out of there, so it should read, Councilman McWord made a motion to not reduce property tax replacement credit and leave it at 1% for 2026.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I think it's the idea.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other corrections to the minutes of June 25th special session? All right. Hearing none, we'll still entertain a motion with this amendment to those minutes.
You want to talk about the 16th of July also, or is that just on the, we're just doing the 25th of June right now?
Yeah, I was just doing 25th of June right
good
now.
deal.
Yep.
I'll move to approve with the correction.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McWhort. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lemming. We have a first, we have a second. Any other questions or further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right. Mr. President, I'll abstain. Okay. We'll note that. Mr. Scott abstained on that vote. Next, we have a regular session of July 16th, 2025, those minutes. Any corrections or changes to those?
Yeah, you have a couple things
Okay.
on there. They're kind of minor, but to me it's kind of important.
Okay.
Under new business A, we talk about the transfer appropriation that was approved, but we don't indicate in there what fund we're talking about. And I thought we should note it's the clerk perpetuation fund, number 1119 in that one. And on item E, we didn't indicate that it's the E911 fund, number 1222 that we're dealing with there.
Which one? I'm sorry.
E,
E?
letter E, yes,
Okay.
it's E911 fund, number 1222. And under F, we didn't indicate it's general fund.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So the chair will entertain a motion regarding the minutes of the regular session, July 16th, with those amendments noted.
So moved.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brinkle. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fidel. A motion and a second. Any other discussion or changes to those minutes? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right, minutes are approved. Next on our agenda, we have new business regarding non-binding review of estimated property tax levy limits as well as estimated circuit breaker losses. And I didn't know who we have doing that presentation or talking about that.
Normally, the council president reads it off.
Okay,
Greg, I'm willing to help out if you want, because I've done it a lot.
that'd be great.
Sure?
Yep.
I mean, make it go smoother for you, maybe.
It sure will.
Now, wait a minute, do you want to argue about that? I mean, do you really want to do, twist your arm?
I've just done it a lot of times to make it smoother for you.
I appreciate that.
First of all, if anyone's here representing one of the units, if you have a question or comment, let us know, okay, if you have a question on what we're covering. And we'll make it brief as we can. But this requirement to have this non-binding review became a requirement for us after the tax reforms in 2008. Because of the fact that we're now, our levies are kind of intertwined with each other because of the tax caps. There's a body, the county council, that does this non-binding review, okay? And like Mr. Kitt said, we'll go over two factors. One is the estimated levy limits for the various units in the county and the estimated circuit breaker losses. And just as a comment, we'll get into this more when we review our budget, but the circuit breaker losses, in my mind, are a lot more of a guess this year than they have been in the past because of the changes to property taxes. We probably won't know for sure how we feel about those until we actually go through the process and see what happens with the property tax revenue next year. But you'll see that the estimated losses have increased substantially from what they were prior year. Okay. First, we'll just kind of go through these in order. I'm going to go through the levy limits and the circuit breaker losses at the same time for each unit. And there's two stacks of paper. One stack is the circuit breaker losses, and one stack is the levy limits. So though they're all in the same order, so we can just flip through those. Okay, first one is Grant County, and you'll see there the 2026 estimated maximum levy is $21,562,589. That does not include the debt service fund. I'll mention that to you. So that does not include that. And you'll see as we go into our part of the budget beginning next week how those numbers will be a little different, especially the developmental disabilities adjustment. That'll be different. And the CCD levy will be up for discussion when we get into that point too. And our estimated tax cap losses, $3,137,000. That's on the other set of pages. Remember, I'm going to go back and forth. That is a 64.42% increase over what 2025's actual losses are. So 64% increase from 1.9 million to 3.1 million. Okay. Next unit would be Center Township, and I saw that back here. Right now, the civil maximum levy is $316,764. The township fire maximum levy $147,066. I did fail to mention this too. The operating levy limits are allowed to increase 4% this year, which is kind of a normal growth. I think that this is the third straight year of 4%. That's kind of an average throughout the year since we've been doing this. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but 4% is a good number. This year, 4% is the amount. Okay, so those are the maximum levies for Center Township. Their projected losses, $71,600, which is a 31% increase over what it was last year. Any questions? Yep. Okay. Okay, next is Fairmount Township. The civil maximum levy is $31,531. The township fire is $55,711. And their projected losses, $1,300. So you can see it's not a lot, but it's a big increase over the prior year, 359% increase. Small dollars in total, but large increase. Oh, and you'll notice this too, taxing units that have cities in them is where you'll see the most losses. That's just the way it is because of the levies, the tax rates they have to fund the city. Towns somewhat, but cities would be the biggest ones. So in this case, Fairmount Township has a town, but it doesn't have a big city in it. Okay, next is Franklin Township. Their civil levy limit is $181,097. Fire, $28,768. Projected losses, $43,240, 46% increase. Next is Green Township. Their civil limit, $8,664. Fire fund, $49,346. Projected losses, $110. Very small amount, but a large increase from $12 to $110. Okay. Next is Jefferson Township. Their civil levy limit is $45,831. The fire fund is $63,834. Projected losses, $1,960. Again, small dollars overall, but large percentage increase, 541%. Next is Liberty Township. Their civil limit, $15,039. Fire fund, $32,792. And their tax cap losses, $260. Goes from $10 to $260.
Do you need to read the fire fund losses on those townships or not?
I guess I probably should be. I'm not. Yeah, I haven't so far. Yeah, that's a good point. I will on the rest of them as we go through it. Yeah, good point. I have to admit, I was just thinking the topic, but I should get the second. Thanks, Mike. Okay, next is Mill Township. Civil limit, $228,984. Fire fund, $74,814. And their limits on the cap losses, I shouldn't say limits, cap losses. For the civil, it's $52,900. Fire fund, $27,750. Large increases on percentages. Okay, next, Monroe Township. Civil limits, $20,106. Fire fund, $18,488. And the tax cap losses, civil funds, $1,330. Fire fund, $810. In small dollars overall, but large increases from the prior year. Okay, and next is Pleasant Township. Civil limit, $55,028. Fire fund, $32,172. And the projected tax cap losses for civil, $9,370. Fire, $1,810. Okay, next, Richland Township. Civil funds, $27,219. Fire fund, $17,749. And tax cap losses for civil, $1,090. For fire, $490. Next is Sims Township. Civil funds, maximum levy of $62,320. Fire fund, $11,260. And their tax cap losses, civil, $3,300, fire, $1,700. Okay, Van Buren Township, civil funds, max levy of $35,617, fire fund, $26,042. And projected losses, civil funds, $1,130, fire funds, $840. And next we have Washington Township. Civil maximum levy of $53,316. Fire fund, $89,721. And tax cap losses projected to be, for civil funds, $4,560. Fire funds, $6,750.
Could you read my fire,
Okay, we'll do.
please, thank you.
For Center Township, fire losses are projected to be $8,070. Okay. Sorry, I missed you on that. Okay, now we'll go to the cities and towns. Did I get Washington Towns? Yeah, I got it. Cities and towns. For City of Marion, the civil funds, a total maximum levy of $24,881,853. And their tax cap loss projections, $7,475,610. That is a 24% increase over what it was, 25. Okay? Any questions on that one? Any questions? Going to stand at this time. Okay. Next we have Gas City. Their civil maximum levy is $1,838,874. And their projected losses, $395,600. And that is a huge increase for them over last year, percentage-wise. It says 392% of what 2025 is. Okay, next we have Fairmount, the town of Fairmount. Civil max levy of $1,040,128. And their projected cap losses, $55,300, 321% increase. You know, those large increases are telling you there are parcels of their units that have not been at the cap that may be at the cap now. That means there are going to be losses there that they didn't have in the past. Okay, next we have Fallerton, town of Fallerton. Civil funds max levy of $43,599. Projected losses $1,210, 415% increase. City of Jonesboro, max levy of $482,287. Projected losses of $134,800, 125% increase. Town of Matthews, estimated max levy of $171,327. Estimated losses, $7,400, 315% increase. Town of Swayze, estimated maximum levy of $237,049. And the projected losses, $13,900, 373% increase. Town of Sweetser, max levy of $189,542. Projected losses, $13,340, 207% increase. Okay, Upland, town of Upland. Max levy of $607,273. And a tax cap projected losses of $31,900. Another large increase percentage-wise. Town of Van Buren, max levy of $407,713. Estimated losses $25,800. That goes from $901 up to $25,800.
Maybe the biggest percentage.
It's huge, yeah, it's a big increase. Tells me their property owner that didn't have the cap, they weren't there, but now they are because of the changes. And we don't know how they calculated those changes, but that's what they've got at this point. So who knows what it's going to be when it's all said and done, but that's what they're projecting. In our cases, the projected losses have always been higher than what actually became, but I don't know about that this time for sure. Okay, now we're going to the school corporations. Eastbrook Community Schools, estimated maximum levy of $2,705,049. Tax cap losses, $228,500, up from $61,000 to $228,000. Okay, Madison Grant Schools, maximum levy of $3,560,549. Projected losses, $170,400. So from $43,700 up to $170,000. Marion Community Schools, this is the big one. Projected levies, $9,481,527. So $9,481,527. Projected losses, $1,659,300. It was about $300,000. Now it's 1.6 plus.
Jim, I think that's actually Mrs. Sinowall. If you go one more page back, you'll get Marion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It got out of order for some
Out of order,
reason.
yep, that one's out of order. Okay, I'll back that up then. I'll repeat. For Mrs. Sinowall Schools, Mrs. Sinowall. Maximum levy of $2,609,062, and their losses are $1,659,300 as a projection, which I said it was roughly $300,000 last year, up to 1.6. Okay, thank you. Now let's get Marion Schools. Okay, Marion Schools, their estimated levy $9,481,527. Projected losses $3,518,700. That shows it as a 31% increase. So they're already at 2.6 plus, that'll be 3.5. Okay, Oak Hill Schools, max levy of $2,703,197. Projected losses $318,600. So almost double what they were. Now we're at libraries. Fairmount Public Library, estimated levy of $102,351. Projected losses $4,340, up from $900 to $4,340. Okay, this is Gas City Mill Township Public Library. Levies of $616,743. Projected losses $130,200. It was only just over $30,006, up to $130,002. So a big increase. Jonesboro Public Library. Estimated levy of $70,207. Projected losses $18,900. Goes from $8,700 up to $18,009. Marion Public Library. Estimated maximum levy of $2,137,617. Projected losses $638,900, which is a 26% increase. Matthews Public Library, the max levy of $10,709. Projected losses $470, from $113 up to $470. Swayze Public Library, max levy of $83,884. Projected losses $4,470, going from $1,900 up to $4,470. And this is the Barton Rees Pogue, that's the Upland Library. Levy of $63,543, and the projected losses $3,360. Goes from $607 up to $3,360. We have the last one is Van Buren Public Library. Estimated maximum levy of $140,380. Projected losses $4,520, going from only $338 up to $4,520. So a large increase there. And the quick calculation you guys can do, various units, you can always take that projected loss, divide it over your maximum levy, and see what kind of the percentage of your levy you're going to lose to the losses. Quick calculation. Anyway, that's what we're required to do. So anyone else have any questions about the information? Unless we have any other questions, that's all I need.
Thank you, Mr. McWhorter. I appreciate you stepping up.
No problem. Yeah, me.
One page. That was a
That
test.
wasn't bad, was it?
That was a test to see if we were paying attention.
Yeah, it's good test. I failed it.
All right. Next, we have Grant County Weights and Measures. Mark Fleming is noted for the agenda.
It's under the $500 threshold.
Oh,
So
okay.
he doesn't have to present it.
Okay, yeah, it was. It was only $40. Okay. And this is just a transfer from Weights and Measures, vehicle repair maintenance to Weights and Measures seals account, and it was $40 to cover the cost of an increase in the price of seals since last purchased evidently several years ago.
I move to approve.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McWhorter. All right, and the second was it by Mr. Lemming or Scott? Okay, Mr. Scott, all right. So we have a first and a second. Any questions, discussion, anything from the public on that? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have Grant County Extension. Chris Goff noted, this is a transfer. Let's see. This is from travel to overtime, and it's $450 to do that, and the other was equipment repair to equipment. So maybe because each line item is less than the $500, we don't have a presentation, even though the accumulation is quick math, 775, 825, 925. Okay.
I don't recall how our rules cover that. It's each one has to be less than, or if it's the combination. I don't remember that. That's a good question.
Right.
You remember that?
No, never had this happen. Or suspend the rules.
Yeah, we could suspend the rules anyway if we had to.
It's either that or what we might have to do if we approved each one separately, then you wouldn't have to suspend the rules, so whichever.
That's why I'm not sure if you did this
Right.
in total or not. I'd say I'll move to suspend the rules so we can take action on this.
All right. All right, we have a motion to suspend the rules by Mr. McWhorter, and we have a second by Mr. Scott, so that these could be approved by us without Chris Goff being present. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, those opposed, same sign. All right, and now, in order to actually approve the transfer of funds, do we have a motion for that?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cadell.
Second.
Second, was that, okay, Mr. Brinkle? All right, thank you. Now we have a motion to approve the request for the transfers of funds by Mr. Cadell, second by Mr. Brinkle. Any questions or discussion regarding that? Anything from the public? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you for doing that suspension of the rules, and that will be something for me to do some homework on and find out what our rules are reading, whether it's cumulative or separate items.
Lots of read that.
Yeah, so there you go. Next on our agenda is from Grant County Surveyor, transfer of appropriation from Grant County General Fund, actually from the garage and motors account to the office supply account. And that is exactly $500 to do that transfer. Oh, you are here. Right on.
Mayor, requesting to transfer the money to supplies. We needed more on the supplies than the motors.
Yep.
I need.
Anybody have any questions? Nope. All right. Just need a motion to approve. Second. All right. Motion by Mr. Brankel, second by Mr. Scott. Any questions or discussion? Anything from the public? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you for coming. Next, Mr. Todd Glancy, Grant County Area Plan.
Good evening, council. So the area plan had one full-time permanent clerk that moved on to another position on July 11th, 2025. And we're requesting to replace that position with our present part-time permanent clerk, Nolan Baker, and to retro date his full-time status to July 14th, 2025. This action would then create an open part-time position. So that's request number one. I don't know if you want to take these separately, this request and then make another request.
Yeah, we should probably do it separate. So basically with this request, the full-time person left and now your part-time person has been filling in on a full-time basis.
Yes.
This is really just a replacement of vacancy. This does not entail a salary ordinance amendment at all. It'd be the same salary that we're talking about.
Right.
Same pay, okay.
I'm not opposed to replacing the vacancy. I would move that we approve the replacement of the vacancy.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion by Mr. McWhort. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lemming. That would be the replacement of the full-time position with the clerk.
And I'm okay with that effective date as well, if that's,
Okay,
the motion would include that.
yep, I think that's part of it. Okay. Anybody have any question regarding that motion? Anybody from the public have anything on that one? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. That replacement.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
the second request is request to change the permit registration clerk part-time position to a full-time position. In addition, transfer the part-time salary monies to the full-time salary monies account. The reasoning is to have a sufficient coverage when a full-time clerk is off from work due to illness, vacation, training classes, etc. With a part-time person only working 28 hours a week, this would prevent having to pay part-time person overtime when they're in a full-time coverage situation. So we'll be posting and interviewing for the open permits registration position, kind of waiting on whether to, if we could get this, we'd be advertising it a different way. I appreciate the consideration and open for questions.
So basically, through all of this, we're adding a part-time position, is basically what we're doing.
You're making a part-time position full-time is the request.
So
That's the request.
we've currently got a part-time position there though, right?
Right.
So
So I have a part-time
we'll
position.
be adding half a salary.
Yeah. Plus the benefits. that we go
Plus the
with.
benefits.
I have to admit, I talked to Todd earlier today. I can't see us adding more staff to our current employee picture. So I would not be in favor of going from a part-time to a full-time position. I think he just has to manage those part-time hours with his office staff as they're off. That's my take.
I would tend to agree because I'm wondering how long it's been a part-time position. It sounds like this is obviously a new request to do this. So I don't know how long we've been doing it with a part-time as opposed to,
I'm not sure of that yet. Maybe
So-
Todd would know. I don't know. I'm not sure. They've had
We
some
did last
changes.
year. All of last year, but I didn't go back on the record to see how long, how many years that part-time position was there.
Right. Yeah. Guess, yeah. So I don't know what other members of the council's thought is. This is a request to change, basically from a part-time position to a full-time, so basically you're gonna double that plus whatever benefits are. So it'd be those additional costs.
Well, Mr. President, I'll go ahead and make the motion, and then we can vote on it as we wish, if that's what you want to do. Is that how you want to do it?
Well, if, you can make the motion, and then I guess we'll see if we have a second to it.
Or if you could not have a motion, just we don't act on it.
Right,
We would
yeah.
approve it, yeah. So either way we go about it.
Yep. However,
I'm going to go ahead and entertain a motion.
okay, you're gonna make the motion.
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Yep.
And then we'll just go from there.
So Mr. Brankel makes the motion to basically approve sending this part-time clerk position to a full-time position. So that's the motion on the floor. Do we have a second to that motion? Hearing none, I think that will not be approved, unfortunately, to make that change. So it would stay a part-time position.
I understand the county's under fiscal strain, so
Yes, it is.
we'll do the best we can with what we have.
Yes, appreciate your understanding.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Fiscal strain and no fault of our own.
Right. Not the truth.
Job.
28 hours a week, you're like 80% full time at that point. I mean, it's hours are what, 35 normally? So you're 80% the full time anyway.
Yeah, you're close. Yeah.
So I mean, my thought is why make that change? Just manage those hours within your structure. Not saying Todd's not doing that, but I'm just,
Right.
we aren't in a position to add full-time staff as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Does that fall within the guidelines of our ordinance or hiring freeze that we did earlier? I mean, what was the specific language of that?
That talked about replacements of positions. That's why he came to us for that replacement, and we approved that replacement of the vacancy, but those are full-time spots. The part-time, he can go ahead and fill that without us dealing with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was just kind of over and above even the hiring freeze, really.
Yeah, so really, there was no salary ordinance amendment. We didn't have to deal with that. It was on the agenda if we needed to, but we did not need to.
Yep. All right, next up, Grant County Probation, Melissa Stevenson. Oh,
You should have received a letter kind of outlining the request to fill a vacancy in our adult probation division. This person that has created the vacancy had a caseload of 121 adult probationers, did multiple weekly intakes for individuals who recently got sentenced to probation, completing risk assessments, assigning cases, writing pre-sentence investigation reports, and providing supplementary coverage for court hearings. I gave you some information about kind of where we're at with some recent changes that's happened and how that's impacted us directly. And it's dramatically increasing our workload. And so for those reasons, we're asking that this vacancy be replaced, the replacement of that be considered.
all right. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Stevenson?
I'm going to move approval
Okay,
of the
that's
request.
what I was going for. Thank you, Mr. McWhirter. We have a first by Mr. McWhirter in order to approve the replacement of this vacancy. Do we have a second?
Second. Go ahead.
All right. All right, Mr. Hicks, we'll note you as seconding that motion. Do you have any questions or further discussion? Anything from the public regarding this request? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have Grant County Corrections with Chris Cunningham.
Good evening.
Evening.
I guess it's almost like a repeat here for the same thing that Melissa was asking for. We have a position that's been vacated and we need to fill the position. Just a reminder, this position that we're filling is a grant-funded position.
That makes yours better than Melissa's.
Yes.
Yours is grant funded,
Well,
yours is general.
from your perspective, from your perspective, yeah, it probably is. All of our budget is pretty much grant funded, so anytime you see my face, it's usually not costing you money, but who knows, there might be a first, you know.
I'd never say never.
Yeah, never say never.
You're gonna be back here next month with something.
Gentlemen, with the face of what's going on at the state and cuts, we did have to cut a vacant position that we had, and from our grant budget. So, the commissioners approved that a few weeks ago, but about $120,000 that it cost us from the state. So, you can see those happening everywhere. Anyway, answer any questions you have, but I'm asking to, and hopefully Beth will be kind enough to post that opening tomorrow so we can get it out and get the position filled. Our home detention numbers are rising, and so, which helps considering what the alternatives are with those being in the jail. So we're doing our best to meet those needs. So that's why we need the position.
Thank you. Entertain a motion regarding this request.
So moved.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scott.
Second.
Second by Mr. Brinkle. Any further questions or discussion? Anything from the public? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks. Have a great
Thank you for
evening.
coming. You too. All right. Next on the agenda. I think you were watching from somewhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
The electric guy.
Yes, Marcus Elliott here from the
Well, you said
IT.
you put me on, I think I'm last, aren't I?
Well,
Or next to last, maybe.
next to last, because we've got an added item, so.
Oh,
yeah.
got you. Darn, I thought you saved me best for last.
No, sorry.
Oh, darn.
After a noon phone call that we added it, so.
All right, so you just want me to just start from the top? Because I know I've got a couple of requests bundled in here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first set of requests is for a couple of transfers. So I'm looking to do a transfer from my training and education to security software. That's just to bring it to zero since we went over a little bit, since we, we're doing some things with the, purchase some additional software and things to enhance our security after the cyber attack back in December. So I would want to transfer the $1,496.28 to security software. And then on your guys' sheets, Angie saved me. So basically I messed that one up a little bit. I had my counts all wrong. So basically for the second request, we're needing to transfer $1,503.72 from training and education, and $500 from travel and conference, and then $1,210 from GIS hardware and software to FTR maintenance to bring that down to, because it's still a negative balance, but that's one of my additional appropriations to put that line back in the, take it out of the red here. So I don't know if you just want to start there, and after that we can.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah, let's deal with that one first.
Yep, okay. So we'll deal with the transfer request for the $1,496.28 from training and education to security software, and then also the other, which is coming from the $1,503.72 from training and education, $500 from travel and conference, and 1,210 from GIS hardware and software. Those three are going to FTR maintenance. So we'll entertain a request regarding the transfer. So do we have a motion for that?
I will move to approve the transfer.
All right, thank you, Mr. McWhirter. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scott. So we have a motion and a second to approve the transfers. Anybody have any questions regarding those? Anybody from the public have a question regarding those? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries for the transfers. Thank you.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll move to the additional appropriations. So just a general overview. So I'm looking to have an additional appropriation for my equipment line item in the amount of $25,000. An additional appropriation for our contractual services in the amount of $70,000. And then for our FTR maintenance, it is the remaining $5,637.70. I do have another one on there. It's kind of extra, but it pertains to the courts and their video system upgrades, and to finish that project out. And that amount is $62,600.
That's also contractual services, right? So
Yeah, so
in a
that-
sense, you've got $132,600 in contractual services.
Correct, yeah. Mhm.
The 25,000 equipment is for,
Yeah, so we had some one-off costs and stuff like that came up during the year. So one of them was for redundant firewall for on-hand spare, because that's basically the heart and soul of the network. So we wanted to make sure we had that, and that one was $10,925. The next item was the Sangoma phone system for central dispatch. This is for the, they call them admin lines, or the non-emergency calls for dispatch. So when we moved off the old phone system last year, AT&T Office at Hand, the company that we went with, they initially promised us that they would take those numbers that were on that, the admin lines, and they would forward them to that system, and it came back that they couldn't do that. And then by that point, we were already migrated over to the new system, so we had to find an alternative. And we tried a few others, and Sangoma was the most reasonable one for the price. So that's why we got that one, and it's to replace the 10-year-old Cisco setup. So this current system that's running that setup is pretty old, and it could go out anytime. So I felt it was better to have it on hand, so that way we can get it up and running. We also invested in some additional security equipment and cameras for some of the front counter areas and stuff like that for some of the buildings, just to make sure they are properly covered. I did speak with Shane. He pulled me to the side. He did say that they do have some funds, if need be, if you guys want to help, transfer some money over. I don't know how much they have in their line item. He just pulled me over to the side this afternoon. So.
The confusing thing for me is the additional appropriation for equipment is $25,000, but yet these total $33,000, $34,000. So it's evidently you had some of the money there.
Yeah, I typically have like a 15 to 20,000 buffer in my equipment, just because there's times we put that in there many years ago, just so, because you never know if something like a switch will die, or
Yep.
something like that, and you need to get it, and you just buy it and don't have to worry about it. So I used those monies to, I was able to, take some of it. I just wasn't able to get all of it, unfortunately.
Then the other thing is it sounds like the redundant firewall, you've already purchased that? Is that true? And then
Yes, sir.
also the phone server, I mean, that's already done too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I guess you're coming here requesting money that you've actually already spent.
Yeah.
We talked about that today.
Yeah,
We did. We talked about that today.
yeah.
So they should come to us before this gets to be spent.
I would think
Right.
so.
Yeah. Like I said, it was one of those things where I didn't want us to not have it and then need it and all that stuff. So once again, I apologize to you gentlemen for that. That wasn't my intention to, cut you guys out of the process. That was just me not, looking at the big picture on that.
And then the cameras, I guess, I'm feeling like this is all, I don't know. I haven't seen the master plan of how many cameras we're gonna have around. I know there's certainly been some kickback from certain areas about cameras. And I mean, that's a lot of money for cameras. I understand maybe Mr. Middlesworth has some money in his fund or something.
Marcus, are these items that we could have done without? Is this kind of a wish and kind of a want as opposed to a need? And we are 1 week away from budget hearings. Kind of seems like an odd time to be coming up with $100,000 request right
Yeah,
before.
well, I mean, like I said, they were just kind of all one-offs. The central dispatch, the Sangoma server, that was one that I felt was an absolute need, just because with the current system they're on, it's over 10 years old and it's not got any support on it. So,
But
if it goes down,
Let me interject just a little bit.
Yeah.
I had the same concern talking this afternoon about some of these things.
yeah,
And he gave me some examples. I'm sure he's given it to us on this paper. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
yeah,
There's some savings
correct.
that we're
yeah.
going to get as a result of some of these things he's doing that hopefully will offset the cost of actually buying it over some time. So
Correct,
that's what
yes.
I felt
So-
better after I heard that, but I haven't actually seen how this goes together yet.
Yeah, so it's because it more ties into the contractual side than the equipment side for the savings. I mean, if you want to go over the savings portion of it, of how much of, going with this stuff will save the county in the long run.
Part of it's a little different. The savings are going to come from a different account in the probably commissioner's budget.
Right.
And the expenses come out of the IT budget is what it now looks like. But
Correct.
the overall savings for us as a general fund. it looks
Yeah.
like, so.
Yeah, because part of the reason I asked for additional at my contractual was we had to migrate, we had to pay some fees to migrate the old analog fax lines to our office at hand phone system. So from what I could tell in the billing, the county was paying, it was roughly around $2,000 a month for fax lines. And that bill is just, it was continuing to grow because the AT&T's, they're looking to dismantle the whole system by 2029. So they're trying to get people off of it, and eventually they're all just gonna stop working. So when we migrated them over, it was roughly 31,000. We basically took that $2,000 a month bill that came out of the commissioner's fund, and we basically converted it over to my office at hand bill, and it's $94 a month. So basically it shrunk it down, because with AT&T office at hand, we took those 94 lines and we turned them into e-faxes, which e-faxes are 99 cents per month.
So you've got two savings noted here. One's going to save us like, I'll say $1,000 plus a year on the switch instead of $94 for, is that per month or is that per year?
Well, so one of them, so I had a breakdown on the left is the monthly cost, and then the one on the right is like how much it costs, per year or annually.
So that's about $1,000 a year savings on that line. Roughly.
Yeah,
A
so,
little over 1,000.
well, so the other one was $2,000 a month. And, take that times 12.
There's 24,000 a year we're saving there.
Correct, yes. So basically, we're moving it from one spot, and shrinking it, and putting it in another. So, and it's the same thing with the Sangoma phone system. So basically, the way that phone system is set up, dispatch, is they have their own dedicated internet circuit and dedicated SIP trunk. And basically, there's an ongoing recurring cost to that. So I looked the bill up for that today, and it was $2,405.71. And since we got the appliance, we're set to try to get that shut off either by the end of this month or next month, because it's all kind of AT&T's will on that. So once we shut that off, we'll save that amount of money per month, and then we're basically trading it for the Sangoma SIP station service. So basically, the Sangoma device uses the internet connection we give it. So it uses the same connection everybody else does. So that helps save money. And in addition to that, it'll also work if we have it set up where we have 2 internet circuits. So if one goes down, dispatch will still be able to receive those calls. Whereas before, if the calls went down, or if that SIP trunk went down, there wasn't really anything we can do to fix it. Whereas with it being cloud-based, it's a little bit more mobile in how it can reconnect.
I'm gonna try to make it simpler terms.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
this bullet point, we're gonna save roughly, I'm gonna say 25,000 a year here. And down here, we're gonna save 27,000 a year probably. I mean, there's offsetting, hopefully that's factual. They made me feel better when I heard that was the case.
And that's with the Sangoma equipment, which is costing the $10,000.
Yeah, it was
So-
it was 10,000. So there was a server, and then there was like a little they call it a voice gateway.
Yeah.
It's like a little box. It's like yay big, and that's basically what does that little box does the handoff to AT&T's equipment. Because AT&T requires what they call a PRI connection. And it's basically an old school way to connect stuff. So, and that was the only way AT&T would accept it.
But I guess if we're saving money on that on a monthly basis, then what's the additional appropriation then? I thought it was tied into the equipment for the contractual services.
You have to pay for it up front.
Oh.
You gotta pay for the equipment, then the savings are gonna come throughout the year.
Because I can't.
And it's different accounts.
I guess I'm not understanding then the $70,000 additional appropriation for contractual services.
That's something different, I think.
Okay, I guess I'll let you do that then. But the cameras, I guess I struggle with that. I guess I understand the firewall and the phone server, the 13 additional cameras.
Yeah, and I'll break down the 70,000 here in a little bit. I had it on a sheet. It's called one-off costs, or costs that wasn't factored in.
Yep.
So the first one is the PDQ imaging software. So this is the software that we use to image the new computers. So as you gentlemen know, we got new computers, a new computer fleet for the county, and we're currently in the process of rolling that out. So it's a little over 350 devices. So it used to be the way we did it before, we would manually, take it out of the box, we plug it in and update it, and we would do it all manually like that and install the programs, and you'd have to do that to each computer. With the imaging software, we're basically able to do that one time for an office's computer, and then we take that image and you basically copy and paste it onto the other ones, and it makes them unique. And that way we can get the computers deployed. So, but it's just a one-time thing. If you gentlemen don't want to pay for that next year, because once we get all the computers in, then we can go back to doing it the other way, because we won't have hundreds of computers to deploy. So that was the, reason behind that.
So that's behind the 70,000?
Well, it's a part of it. So then on the.
That total is 64,000, just.
Yeah, it was 64. I put like so the real total I need is $64,060.35. That was just to, that was just to kind of put a little buffer in there. But yeah, so it was just basically, for that. And then I had the fax line migration. That was the 33,000. And then we've done some work with People Driven Technologies. They helped us get our firewall up to date, and they helped us make some adjustments to it, and they configured the dual internet circuit. We had it before, but I had to manually go in there and flip it. Whereas now, if AT&T goes out, Metronet will come back up and support it. The other was, we updated our cloud backups from Wasabi to Ninja. So, and the difference with that was about 7,400. And then one thing I noticed with my budget was I shorted myself a little bit on my contractual. So initially I thought the Office at Hand invoice it was going to be $4,500 a month, and it's around $5,500 per month. So, because the thing I was using for reference during budget time, it didn't have the additional fees and E911 lines and stuff like that in there. So that was my fault for missing it. But, all those added together, that's kind of the sum total. So if you don't want to do the 70,000, I mean.
You've already spent that, it's already done, right?
Right.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
The total amount of additional appropriations minus potential savings is what? Where are we at with that number?
Well, because the additional savings, like it would be over.
Roughly 50,000, 52 or something like that?
Well, it would be over time. So like the annual savings, the way I had it calculated out here, so before we were paying 24,000 approximately for the fax lines. So that's annually. So over 3 years, that would be a little over 60,000. And then
Just do it on a year basis.
On a year basis, okay. Yep, so that's 24. And then for the AT&T SIP trunk, for the migration for that, for the Sangoma stuff, we would be able to, cut that out. And the cost I had for that annually is $28,868.52.
We are paying $1,667, so there's a net there, right?
Correct, yeah.
So how much of this have you already spent?
Yeah, I've spent that. So all this stuff right here, so the additional one-off costs, I've paid for those. Now, the only one I haven't done is the court stuff, because that's kind of a separate project.
You're going beyond it.
Yeah.
You're skipping ahead.
Yeah, I was just making sure, because I didn't want them to be all blended together.
Right now, he's covered the additional appropriations of 25,000 and 70,000, so 95,000 total. And some of those aren't related to savings, but that's the total. But the savings looks like around 50, I'm gonna say 52,000 a year. So some of that's related to the 75, some of it's really not, as far as some of that 75 includes some things that aren't related to savings. The cameras, for example.
Right.
How much more are you asking for that you have not already spent then, I guess, is what we need to get down to.
Well, like I said, so the main thing I'm asking for would just be for just additional appropriations, because the three that I need to keep me good the rest of the year would be the 25, unless 25 in equipment, unless Commissioner Millsworth, we work with him and we put a pause on that one and we can do a transfer for the camera part.
Because the cameras, you haven't bought those yet.
The cameras we do have.
You already bought them.
He spent all those, that 25 and 70, he's already spent all that.
Okay.
Right?
You have not spent the 56.6 and the 62.6, is that what you're saying?
56 is spent also.
Yeah, so
That's a negative account balance now.
Yeah, so that one right there is the FTR. So we basically bought additional software for the courts to upgrade the court recording software. And that also included the addition that I didn't factor in for the referee court, which was brand new.
So you're in budget deficit right now.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have a whole lot of choice.
I struggle with it. I mean, you're coming to us after the fact. I mean, this really sets a precedent for other people. So they just say, well, we'll just go spend the money and then we'll come to the council and they got to pay us because, hey, we spent it. I mean, I think that's a terrible message. I think it's terrible.
Yeah. And like
That's
I said,
out of control.
Yeah, it was short-sighted on my part.
Marcus, you had said that the redundant firewall, the 10,925, and the Sangoma phone server, you went ahead and paid for that. You decided to go ahead and purchase that.
I did because I didn't want us to, have an issue and not have that equipment and stuff go down and not be able to fix it.
It was a decision you made, or did you get approval from anybody to spend these additional funds?
Yeah, I did.
What was the timeline on all this? Is this stuff that just happened last month or week?
No,
or year?
it's something it's happened throughout the year. I thought I'd be able to shuffle and do some transfers and stuff like that, but it just kind of got away from me a little bit.
I'm not sure how we want to handle it, I guess.
I'm not comfortable making an approval for any of this at this point.
Agreed.
The only problem we have is it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think we need to maybe work with the commissioners or somewhere where we can find a transfer, because I don't think it's an obligation to fund additional appropriations in the manner in which this money was
But
spent.
as I talked to Mark today, I mean, he indicated that he and the commissioners had talked about this before it was done.
Well, we talked about it for some of the security equipment and the camera part.
And obviously, I expressed the thought that, hey, you can't be spending money until you get the
Right.
approval. I mean, that's silly. You just can't do that.
Additionally, we've acquired ongoing costs over the next years, right, with these service fees?
Well, the thing of it is, we do have ongoing savings, it looks like. But based on the changes they made, we're gonna have some operational savings on a monthly basis because the fees we're paying out for the old stuff, they're going away, and what the new stuff is, we're saving that. So that's why I say it made it better for me when I heard that. We're gonna have, it offsets a lot of that cost. But we should have known about it before it happened. It should have been. But it does have most of it covered, I think.
So that's with savings, but let's go to then the last item, the video, court's video
We haven't
system
gotten into that
upgrade.
yet. Yeah.
62,006.
And he hasn't done that yet.
No, I haven't done
He hasn't done
that. So, yeah, that one I haven't done. So, we've been working with Chris Cunningham and Judge Spitzer for the court's video system upgrades. And we were able to acquire 5 new video systems for the courts, for their hearings and all that stuff. And we have them on hand, but there's some additional costs to get them implemented and software to get them going. So I believe I gave that to you gentlemen in your package.
Are they still in the box?
Yeah.
I think you're right. We think we're going to meet with commissioners, see how we work it out, yes.
I mean, they're, yes, we're gonna have to.
The only thing that I guess I do like is that there are savings, but I mean, we've certainly gotten out of order here. So that's good, but yeah, I mean, this court's video upgrade for $63,000, I can't see that right now.
Yeah, there's a kind of a long story with that as well, because they've done some things through grant funds that have got that system started.
Yeah.
But there's some things they haven't done yet, which he's coming tonight to complete it, I'd say.
Is that something that could be requested in budget hearings this month?
I mean, I didn't factor in the, I think I might have factored in the Zoom room, which is the software portion of it, but it also.
Which is an ongoing annual.
Correct, and I spoke with, I think I I spoke with them and they got, I think it was $10,413, $10,413.80 was what he told me.
Let me say this too on Marcus' behalf. I mean, obviously, the timing of this and how he's going about it is frustrating. But on this camera that he hasn't actually completed yet, this system, the court video system, from my conversation, correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus, but that system is replacing an old system that needs to be replaced probably. So it's one of those things that probably needs to be done, but we probably need to know more about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement? It's an old system you're replacing this?
Correct, yeah, so that system, I mean, I was hired in 2014 and it was actually put in roughly around 2015, 2016.
It's 10 years old plus. It's
Yeah, so it's pretty old and like the systems are doing weird things now because they're 10 years old, like they go in and out and the display disappears on them. They just do weird things. So it's been happening so much lately. We're currently, trying to figure out a workaround to, get that stuff up and running. Judge Spitzer, he attached a letter and he, kind of goes over, how it helps with out-of-town attorney hearings, hearings with criminal defendants.
I think we might have to talk about that at another meeting, I think, about that system. I mean, I don't know where we're at. I guess I think at this point, we probably need to shoot for a motion to approve in a second and see if we've even see what we're gonna have. I don't know, Mr. McWhirter, it sounds like you've had some discussions with
Yeah, we talked for an hour today, I guess, quite a while. I got this, I'm thinking, what is this all?
Yeah.
Right.
And I wanted to avoid all the complex discussion tonight because it's always like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I tried to avoid that, but we obviously still have some of them.
I'll be the first to tell you, it's very hard for me to kind of take IT speak and kind of translate it to money and kind of the savings part of it.
That's why I asked him to put together a savings piece. But,
Yes.
But
Are we better just to table it so we can have the discussions with the commissioners and come back so we don't approve or not approve something that we may need to deal with later?
Do you just have the one fund that's in the negative right now?
Yeah, so currently I believe it's just the security software?
FTR.
Or is it FTR?
What's the
This is
FTR mean?
FTR.
Is $55,637.70.
let me add, Angie, have you advertised all these additional keys? Yeah. And I understand the frustration of the timing not coming to us before they obligated the money. That's a bad thing to do, bad precedent. I understand that. That deserves some discussion. Beyond that, from my conversation today, I understand the concepts of what they're doing. So I'm probably okay with approval, but having that conversation of how you go about this, making sure you include us before you obligate the money is important.
I guess I was unaware that this had already been spent.
Yeah, most of it had, not all of it. The 62.6, no, but the rest of it I think has.
I need the detail of the cost savings everyone's speaking about, but I haven't seen on paper. There was a lot of what ifs.
You didn't get a sheet? There's this.
Just got it tonight.
Oh, he just got it tonight.
Yeah, but I don't feel like,
And it
I'm not adding it all up.
It doesn't spell it all out very clearly, I
Right.
guess, yeah.
And I haven't tried to add it up in detail, I just got it in concept in mind. And rounded numbers, I guess.
So what kind of motion are you looking for? We're not gonna include that 62.6 right tonight, is that what you're saying?
He said not include anything.
Yeah, I guess I've got Mr. Scott saying, let's just table the whole request and talk about it next month. After talking maybe with the commissioners regarding the cameras as well.
Do you want to meet with the commissioners and discuss that with them? Is that what your intention is?
Yeah, yes, I will do that along with Marcus as well.
Yep.
So we can certainly do that.
I'm okay with table until everybody's comfortable with it.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense. Or not comfortable with it. It's all said and done.
Right, yeah.
Bottom line is, we've done it, and obviously, if we've spent some money, we don't have to give the additional. We can make them use the funds they have currently and transfer around.
Right.
I mean, that can be a requirement, but.
Right. Yeah, but I appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
Tonight.
yeah, like I said, gentlemen, I do apologize, and once again, I didn't mean no, disrespect. I was just, trying to make sure we were good and we had, proper coverage on stuff, so. I saw that, we had savings and stuff, and, that's my mistake, so I apologize. Nope, but I will be more than happy to meet with Mr. Getz or any of the council.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It'll probably be up to three of us. That way, we don't get into public hearing. Maybe
Right,
one
correct.
commissioner, just kind of pull this all together and then have just
Right.
dollars and cents for the council to see what it's costing up front versus what it's saving, because that's always a good thing. And then just, what the changes would be.
Yeah,
Like the video system.
Yeah, and with my budget next year, I do have like a lot of items that I'm, trying to eliminate and take off to try to shrink that even more. So, we can, discuss that at my budget hearing next week.
Yeah, we'll just bring it back next month then.
Yep.
Sounds like that's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, well, like I said, once again, I apologize, gentlemen. Thanks again for your time.
All right, thank you. Yeah, if you want to do a motion to table that till next month, I mean, we could do a motion or we can just do it.
Or just let it go.
Do we need to have a motion table?
You advertise, it was advertised. Since it was advertised, I would go ahead and table it, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. President, I make a motion to table the request from the Grant County IT Department from tonight's meeting.
For the additional appropriation.
Additional appropriation.
Okay,
Yeah, we already did the transfer.
yes, we did that. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Mr. Caudell. We have a second. Any other further discussion regarding that item? Anybody from the public have any comments about that item?
Yeah, just as legal.
Yes.
President Kitts, I think you make an excellent point about precedent and spending money before it's actually approved. That's got to be watched very carefully. So it appears just from listening to Marcus that he might not completely understand the procedure. So it probably would be helpful in the future if he has this come up, maybe talk to his commissioners and they can walk him through, because it sounds like they just learned about this also. Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess because the total numbers that we're talking about for additional appropriations is 95, that's about $162,000, $163,000.
I told Marcus in our conversation, one of our goals at budget time is to have a reasonable budget so we avoid these large additionals that are surprise, what happened to them. So-
Right.
And sometimes it does happen, but this is large. It was a huge percentage of his contractual services and his equipment amount. I mean, it was a big increase from what he'd had.
Yes,
It's a great idea if you've got it in your budget, you have to come ask for more money.
right,
I mean, I like that part of
right.
it. You gotta ask for more money if it's a bad idea.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Glickfield. And so we have a motion made by Mr. Scott, seconded by Mr. Caudell, in order to table this additional appropriation for the Grant County IT Department until next month. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Next item on our agenda is actually one that's sneaking on about the Grant County Health Department. I guess I would call it letter I, due to a vacancy which arose.
Yes, thank you for making exception to hear our request tonight. Our communicable disease nurse position became vacant today. This is just an incredibly important position to the functions of the health department. She does investigations and case management on every STI, positive TB, hepatitis, and multiple other communicable diseases. I'm just asking your consent to fill this position as soon as possible.
What is the position?
Communicable disease nurse?
Did you have a letter in the course at all?
This happened at 11 o'clock today, so I made a quick phone call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got a phone call about 10 after 12, and really, since it hadn't been advertised, we'll still have to bring it back next month, but I think it's also one to get. Won't we have to? No?
We can just take care of this if you want.
Okay. That'll
It's a
work.
current position, I'm just.
Yes.
Full-time position?
Yes.
And it's paid for out of what fund?
Health First Indiana Fund, that's the state.
So it's one of our
funds.
grant funds?
Not a grant, they keep saying it's not a grant.
What is it? It's
State
not one of our
funds.
general funds.
Health First Indiana, state funds.
Let's read it. What's the name of it again?
Health First Indiana.
Health First Indiana,
1161,
1161. Yeah, thank you.
Non-general fund money.
correct.
Non-health fund even.
Non-health fund, yeah, exactly.
No Grant County tax dollars on this.
State tax dollars probably, or maybe federal.
It
Okay.
is.
All right.
All right.
Well, if you want to get into the weeds, state and federal tax
Right.
dollars.
Yeah.
All of us.
I didn't go there.
Okay.
All right, do we have a motion regarding the replacement of the communicable disease nurse?
Can I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
When did the vacancy occur?
Today.
Oh, it just happened today? Okay, all right. So you're looking to replace, right, looking at it for immediate replacement then?
She has open cases out, yeah,
Okay,
the sooner the better.
all right.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve the filling of this vacant position.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brinkle. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Mr. McWhorter with the second, and yeah, just to kind of reiterate, I mean, she called me today, I think it was a little after 12, and asked about getting on the agenda, which I felt like it was an urgent need in order to replace this position. So therefore, I agreed to add it to the agenda. And we have a motion by Mr. Brinkle and a second by Mr. McWhorter. Any other questions? Anything from the public? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. All right, thank you.
Again, the last minute consideration is very appreciated.
All right, well, thank you. I think we have to try and do what we can to keep moving forward all the time. Next item on the agenda, we have old business, which we had on there, Grant County lit discussion and ordinance review. I'm not sure we really have anything to cover there. One item that we also should be under letter B is Upland Public Library Board member. I think I have that on here. We had two of them, so I'm trying to make sure I got the right one here. And this would be Dan Bowell, appointed to the Upland Public Library Board.
Dan who?
Dan Bowell,
How does he spell the last name?
Bowell.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we know what his term is, what the term of that appointment is?
It is beginning July the 20th, 2025, and lasts until July 19th, 2029.
Okay, 4 years. Okay.
Yes, 4-year term.
I'll move for approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. McWhorter.
Second.
Second by Mr. Scott. Do we have any questions or further discussion regarding the Upland Public Library Board? Anything from the public? Hearing nothing. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have committee reports.
Just get that on the report, I guess maybe a comment, question.
Yes.
Shane is here, Mr. Millsworth's here.
Yes.
We are kind of, before we know it, it's going to be September and October, and we need to make sure where we are when it comes to this potential jail project.
Yes.
Do we know when we're going to have an update as far as how the various professionals are coming together with the cost and what they're going to present to us to consider for approval?
I have not heard anything. I don't know if Mr. Middlesworth has any updates, putting him kind of on the spot here.
Kind of putting him on the spot.
Yeah,
We're getting
yeah.
close to, we need to kind of get that in mind. I
Right,
think.
right.
Great question as far as the jail update. I know the sheriff has done towards meeting with VW again to scale down the scope and try to scale down the cost. And I think that we're, as far as your duties, we still need to work toward bonding and going through that process. And so I guess when would you like for that to be set up with VW and you choose your members that are gonna represent the council when it comes to bonding? I know Mr. McWhorter's going through that.
It's been a while though. I guess we need to kind of have a calendar, a time schedule in mind and work backwards, but we need to, if we're going to have money available in 2026 for any kind of payment, we have to have the rehab tax in place for lit no later than the month of October. And we'd love to have it done a little before that if we could, September, but October at the very latest. So we need to make sure that whatever has to be done to get us to the point as a council to say, hey, we're okay at doing this. We haven't agreed we're going to do it yet. So we have to make sure that we have information from you, the professionals, whoever it is, to get us to say, yes, we're gonna move forward in time to make that happen. So
Specifically, you're wanting what?
well, I mean, right now, we haven't heard what costs are gonna be asked of us to fund. We've talked about numbers, but we haven't actually seen where they're coming down to at this point, and I'm not sure when they're gonna have that ready for us. Do you know that?
Yeah, I did not know that.
I mean, to meet our line of approval, we need to probably get that going pretty quickly. I was thinking no later than, I was hoping end of August, early September, they could give us the number, hey, this is what it's looking like. And then we can decide yes or no, we're gonna do this or not. And then whatever it takes to then, if we say yes, whatever it takes to get the bonding in place has to be kind of scheduled in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know, I had a discussion with BW a couple of weeks ago, and obviously with some vacations and different things that they was trying to work around with the sheriff.
I suppose that if we agree at some point before October's over that we're gonna do this, we can put the tax in place and deal with the bonding timing after, I suppose. I mean, that could take place. It would delay some things as far as, you know, when the payments start and all those kind of things. But the sooner we get that done and accomplished with the cost estimates together is important.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'll investigate that further tomorrow.
And we don't meet again as a body until what, September, what's our next date?
September 17th, regular meeting.
Next regular meeting. So we have to either do something in that meeting or have a special, one or the other.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I would assume we'll probably have to have another special meeting to discuss, you know, what the current project scope is and the dollar amount. So maybe we just need to go ahead and plan.
Well, I would encourage you and Mr. Kitts and whoever's involved with the schedule, so we're meeting that timeline if we're gonna do this.
No, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McWhirter. Good point. All right. Anybody else had any committee reports or anything? We had a delay, or maybe it was a cancellation really of the Grant County Community Corrections meeting for the month of August. And so I think we're delayed until September. So there was supposed to be one, but that one was canceled, postponed, whatever you want to call it. So I don't have any update regarding that. Well, I guess I'll move to the next item, which is moving to adjournment. Upcoming meeting dates, we have public hearings starting next week on Wednesday and Thursday, August 20th and 21st, and then also and this is all for the budget, and then Wednesday, August 27th and 28th. And then our next regular meeting is Wednesday, September 17th.
And just so you know, we have, Angie and I have been working on the budget information over the last month. And Form 3, which is the public notice for the public about the budget hearings, has been done. It's out there on Gateway. So
Okay.
The public has been notified of our budget hearing.
All right. Super.
As it was last Friday, I think.
All right. Don't know if anybody else has anything for the good of the cause.
I have a whole list of updates if you want to hear them. If not, we can run through them.
Yeah, you can run through them real quick. What do you got updates on?
Yeah. So when it comes to the courthouse, the basement floor is complete and finished. The commissioners did choose to shut down the courthouse Thursday at noon and a Friday to complete and renovate the flooring in the basement of the courthouse. The exterior steps are finished on one side. Landscaping design is complete, and we'll probably present that in the next commissioners meeting. You know, how we want to address the landscaping around the courthouse. We also pressure wash the courthouse. If you've noticed, it does look cleaner. We're working on some air conditioning issues within Mr. Judge McVicker's courtroom. That's been ongoing for years. I think we've finally fixed the issue of the condensation leaking down into the courtroom during summer. So I think we've got that fixed, which is, if it is fixed, will be a battle they've been battling for some time, right? Well, obviously, we're still ongoing cleaning in the courthouse for several weekends. We've been cleaning carpets, flooring, what have you. The Salem Bank, we moved the mini splits for Central Dispatch. The mini split air conditioning units were outside. There was a 100-foot line set, and so we was having trouble keeping Central Dispatch cool. We moved those to the basements and shortened the line sets. I think we got that issue fixed, which is another issue that's been repetitive for some number of years. Another thing I just want to give you a brief update on is the health insurance fund. Back June 1st, we switched brokers from IMG to Gregory Lee in LaPel. And so up front, we saved $10,000 on our broker fee. And then here in the last few months, we've been renegotiating stop loss claims to correct the billing, saved another $25,000. And then we also, with our new HR director, we audited the fund to make sure that the benefits that we were paying for employees, that we was paying for current employees. So when we did perform that audit, we did find that we were paying employees that haven't worked for the county for some time, which I think accounted for about $20,000 worth of unneeded expenses. So, I mean, we're doing our part to save wherever we can. Obviously, anything that we can help the council on, we will be more than happy to help. So, thank you.
Yeah, that basement floor, that looks great. Now the question I have though, you redid the steps outside, which would go up then to different doors. Is there something, I mean, redoing steps like that and we don't use those steps I don't want to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously you can see how cracked they were. And so we don't want to, you know, there's room, and there's actually a room underneath those steps. And so we want to protect those areas as well from deterioration and getting those sealed up, definitely. Yeah, you know, that's one of the big questions. Can we open up all the doors to the courthouse? And I know that would be a great achievement, but I think as far as the security measures go, I don't think it's possible at this time. But definitely would be nice to go back to using all the entrances, but due to security reasons, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Guess we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Motion by Mr. Brinkle. Second. Second by Mr. Scott. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.